So we already got this comment. Take a look at this. I like the idea of everyone boycotting Levan and letting him retire unbeaten. It's becoming a joke that he continues to stay around with nobody even close to his level, a detriment to the sport. But we also have to stay true to the core values of arm wrestling or any sport for that matter. Just because a guy dominating is becoming boring, we cannot expect him to lose. The most we can do in this situation is to somehow convince Levan to show up less prepared than his usual preparation. That can be the highest, the farthest that we can go. Nothing beyond that. That was also suggested by Devon Larratt. And a left arm match where Levan is unprepared against Alijan Muratov is basically doing the same. So I'm up for that if Levan is willing to do that. Thanks for joining the live stream, arm wrestling fans. Today we'll discuss Levan Saginashvili's future in the sport of arm wrestling. Where is he going to compete next? I have a not so positive news for you guys, and I'll share this screen with you. I saw Concrete Elbow make a video about this, so I was thinking maybe, I don't know where GVW Sports posted this comment, but apparently it was on my channel. I had not watched it. I had not seen it until then. Greetings, arm wrestling fans. What's your thoughts on Levan's first ever super match on left arm against Alijan Muratov open weight class? I've already recorded a video about this. I recorded it 3 hours ago. My brother is editing it and it will be posted soon. Let's see what the chat has to say about this. I think it would be an amazing matchup. There will be more hype than Levan versus Devon. I don't think so. Alijan will win. Make it happen. All fans want to see it. By the way, this comment is posted by Roman Gamtenadze. There is no more hype for the right arm anymore. I can agree with that point. Levan for the left is a good choice, and Alijan with his steel wrist is a perfect choice for Levan. No way, yes. Not paying a single coin to GVW. Roman, thumbs down. Show more replies. We will earn your respect, okay? Devon's fangirl with daddy issues. So these are the comments that we got, and we already got a super chat from Mark Skigera. 18 dirhams, the best arm wrestling journalist. To the best arm wrestling journalist. Thank you, sir. I hope I can do my job better in the future, and that financial support is for sure going to help me. I have a bad news for you guys. I talked with Roman about this, and what I got from that, I didn't ask him a direct question, so obviously he didn't give me a direct answer. But what I got from that small conversation that I had with him today, it was just a generic question to hype up the GVW upcoming event. I don't think he has even talked with Levan or Alijan Muratov for that left arm match. I got excited. I've already recorded a video. That this part what I'm about to say is not mentioned in that video. This is newer information, so I don't think this match is going to happen. In fact, Roman doesn't even know whether Levan is contracted on the left arm or not. He was doubtful about it, and I'm like, how can you not know that? Because Levan doesn't even compete on the left arm. Why would East versus West put him under a left arm contract and pay him extra money for that? That does not make any sense at all. So there is no way that Levan's left arm is contracted. So since Roman doesn't know that, there is absolutely no way that he has contacted Levan or Alijan Muratov about this match. The unfortunate news is this match, although the comment made by Roman made it seem like it's about confirmed, the conversation hasn't even started. So no way this match is confirmed. And I'm about to remove the pinned comment as well, because it already got 39 likes. It will stay at the top, I think. So you tell me what are you getting from this comment. Greetings, arm wrestling fans. What's your thoughts on Levan's first ever super match on the left arm against Alijan Muratov in an open weight class? At least it sounds like he's thinking about making this match happen. He has already contacted the athletes, but no, I don't think he has done that. Again, I am only 70% sure on this, not 100. Do you think Levan would crack Alijan's wrist? That's the same thing that I said in the video. I said if Levan just shows up unprepared, if this match happens a month from now, I think it's a cool match. I think Alijan can put him into some trouble, but Levan isn't someone who is willing to show up unprepared just for the sake of our entertainment, just for the sake of making the match look close. And that's why Levan will be prepared, and that's why he will be defeating Alijan Muratov. I don't think Levan can be hooked now, even on the left arm. So that was a problem. That's going to be a problem for Alijan Muratov as of now. But if you look at it, this match makes sense. They can make it happen. Levan's left arm is not contracted. Alijan has not signed a contract against East versus West. And from the recent conversations, it's quite clear that he is not on the best terms with East versus West. He's not happy with what they're offering him. So why not ask Alijan to sign a contract with GVW Sports? And Levan, if he competes left arm, he will not be violating his right arm contract with East versus West, and he can show his support to GVW Sports. So I'm not sure why they're not thinking about this match. I mean, clearly they are thinking about this match, but I don't think they've contacted the athletes. I don't think anything is solid yet, and I don't think anything is official yet. Who was the arm wrestling world champion from 2010 to 2018? That, sir, would be Denis Siplenkov on both arms. There was a small brief time where Devon was also champion. I think even in 2011 he was considered the right arm champion. 2011 he became the left arm champion too for a brief moment, I would say, by defeating Andrei Pushkar, because that title that Devon got, number one left arm in the planet, that was, in my opinion, just a little bit shady. Not that Devon did anything wrong, but it was not in the way you would like to become a world champion. So Pushkar has pinned Denis Siplenkov on the left arm just 3 times in his entire career, maybe four times, and he has lost like 500 times, who knows. So there was that one day where, I don't know, Denis was sleeping or what, Pushkar flash pinned Denis Siplenkov. He won that tournament. So basically, because he defeated Pushkar, he became the number one guy in the world. And soon after that, Devon had a match. Devon confirmed a match with Andrei Pushkar, and Devon defeated. So that's how Devon defeated him. That's how Devon became the number one arm wrestler in the world. After that, Denis destroyed Pushkar again and again and again. But still, would you consider Denis the number one arm wrestler in the world, or Devon the number one arm wrestler in the world? That was confusing. The same thing happened in India's women's arm wrestling, where number 1 defeated number 2, number 3 defeated number 1, or something like that. Then it was all confusing who's the number 1 lady in the country. Is arm wrestling big in India, Pakistan, etc.? In India it's big. Pakistan, I don't think so. Vitali is pulling Jerry. So if we talk about Levan's right arm, then I think if Vitali defeats Jerry, then for sure Vitali versus Levan is happening. And Devon said he's looking forward to facing Vitali maybe in March, so that will be the Siberian Power Show. But I think even before that, I believe so that Levan versus Vitali should and will happen. It should and it will happen before March. So when does this happen? I'm not really sure, but there is a likelihood that if Vitali beats Jerry, then Vitali versus Levan is the next match, the right arm match. And in that case, if he doesn't beat Jerry, then I would say, why not have another Devon versus Jerry match? If Jerry beats Vitali, I think he deserves a shot against Devon. Why not? Tell me the reason why. I think it should happen. So both situations are quite clear in my mind. Jerry beats Vitali, Jerry gets a match against Devon, and the winner of Devon versus Jerry gets a match against Levan. And the other case can be no or here. If Vitali loses to Jerry, he doesn't deserve a match against either Devon or Levan. That's my opinion. If Jerry beats Devon too, then Devon versus Vitali can happen, but not the other way around. And if Vitali beats Jerry, then Vitali versus Levan is the match. And irrespective of what the outcome of that Levan versus Vitali match is, the next match that should happen is Vitali versus Devon. I think I've made this math clear to East versus West. That's what they should be doing. That's the perfect idea. Suggestions for them. GVW venue looks lush, better than a lot of venues. Okay. Is Levan pulling with his left arm finally? No. Kima K. The short answer would be I don't think so. Dexter seemed to confirm Levan would face Vitali in November. Okay, so then that makes sense. Levan versus Vitali in November. Thank you, J.R. Williams, for this comment. भाई आप वीडियो क्यों नहीं डालते? या आई विल थोड़ा बिजी भी नहीं, थोड़ा लेजी चल रहा था. गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी. गुड इवनिंग फिल वुडी. Woody UK. Are you Phil Woody or just Woody? So let's scroll down the chat. From 2011 to 2018, Dennis was number one without a doubt. I will also agree with this statement. Why Devon never pulled Dennis all those years boggles my mind. At that time, not that many super matches were happening. We have to consider this. Like from 2000, I would say up until 2018, how many super matches were happening? Very few, close to none. Tomorrow my accountant's exam, I'm still here. Thank you Rishabh Jain for the support. East versus West without Morozov for a while would be least entertaining. We got some Artyom Morozov support here. Levan versus Vitali and Hermes versus Devon in the same event. Yeah, Hermes versus Devon makes sense too. I like that match. Why Devon never pulled Dennis all those years? Vitali versus Jerry, Hermes, Devon. Give your prediction for each of these matches. As much as I want to say Jerry is a perfect style to beat Vitali, but is he really? Jerry has been losing to top rollers since the beginning of his career. I don't think we can say. Everybody keeps on saying that Jerry is a nightmare for top rollers and stuff like that, and yet most of his defeats are against top rollers. So I don't totally agree with that statement. Pradeep, if Dennis was number one for 8 years on both arms, why do people now underestimate him? Because he's not the same guy anymore. But Vitali versus Jerry is 1 month before December. Isn't Levan contracted to pull? It's not like I don't think it's mentioned in his career that he can pull or has to pull only twice a year. But it's confusing. Jerry ain't beating Devon or Hermes. Even Svetkov could have defeated him. Yes, he was very close to beating him. So Vitali just needs to stand up and press. He will have everything he needs. I don't think Vitali will be on the defensive against Jerry. He just needs a press after taking everything away from Jerry. Please support GVW and take the sport to the next level. And Vitali's side pressure is awesome, so that will help him. Jerry will get mauled by Vitali. And there's a good chance Jerry doesn't even slip. Like Vitali just grabs his thumb and just pushes him down, crushes him down. There's a huge possibility that it can happen. I never want to see Dennis on the table ever again. LOL. Why? Please react on Dennis versus Morozov recent posted by someone. Yeah, I had that clip 3 years ago. I saw it. I even shared a few seconds of it on my channel a couple of years ago. Some of you may remember that. Where Dennis was absolutely stonewalling Artyom Morozov. I don't think he even needs press. Just need to grab low and it's easy from there. I don't think Vitali can. Maybe outside of straps he can. But if Jerry wins all rounds, I don't know who wins this. If Jerry wins all rounds, then I think him versus Devon is the match that needs to happen. They switched it to Levan versus Vitali. No, not really. Remember last time again. So when is this up next East versus West event? I forgot that somehow. Let me check. Or maybe someone will mention the date. I forgot the date of next East versus West event. Hello, the Claymore Strength channel. Swiss, yeah, the Swiss event. What happens to arm wrestling if steroids are banned? The arm wrestlers will go in deep depression, all of them. What do you think about GVW deleting people? I read another comment saying they've already started deleting comments. Does that remind you of somebody? Is it Engin? Is that what you're saying? Somebody mentioned that since GVW got a sponsorship by a betting company, it shows that Engin Terzi is not a part of it, because Engin was always against betting companies. I feel like Jerry only loses who has he has beaten Gennady Quickvinia, he has beaten Georgy Svetkov, and I think he has one more win at East versus West. I'm forgetting the name. Or maybe not. Pradeep, do you think it's good that these gambling sites get involved with arm wrestling leagues? Doesn't it lend it to corruption? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not even sure if as of now they're going to have gambling involved on their own website, like arm wrestling gambling. They may just be paying them some money for promoting their website, their organization. So I cannot comment about that. But these gambling companies, they do have good money. When I had like 5,000-6,000 subscribers, I got a sponsorship for $125. It was like almost 4 years ago. $125 for 5 videos. So $25 for one video, and all I had to do is they provided me with a 30-second clip. I just had to put it on half of the screen of my video and just speak over it, whatever their product was about. $25 for 30 seconds of promotion for a channel that had 5,000 subscribers. It was good money. So these companies, they do have money. That's how they hiding it. What do you think, Engin's post? I have talked about Engin's. You're talking about Instagram posts. I've talked about them on my channel. If Roman really is running GVW, then he should make me mod there too. Yeah, moderator. Engin's funding came from betting companies. Do you think if arm wrestling had a more complex rank like sumo wrestler? I don't know what sumo wrestling ranking system is, so I'm not sure. Einar, I'm not sure what you're mentioning here. More complex? No, we need a simpler ranking system. Complex, I mean, it can be complex, but those complex calculations need to be done by AI, by computer, not by humans. Then I'm all up for it. Then the more complex it is, the better it is going to be. Pradeep, really tell me why they don't give Michael a chance. I mean, there is no one ready till then. I'm not sure. Michael was a supporter of. This is what I've heard in the background news. Michael was a big supporter of Engin Terzi in this situation. Yes, he chose to remain silent on this topic. He didn't really say anything, but he was a supporter of Engin Terzi. But then we have to take Kalinichenko was shitting all over the place on East versus West. So if he's invited, then the fact that Michael was a supporter of East versus West of Engin Terzi, it should mean that he's not invited. In fact, Robert Baxter was saying that Michael is planning to cut to 115 kilos. So maybe he was himself taking some break, and now he's going to show up in a 115 kg match. Maybe I would put him up against the loser of the Sago versus Dave Chaffee match. Give that match to Michael. Michael would say that he deserves the winner of that match, but why? That would be my question. How? When was the first time you heard about Levan? What were your first impressions of him? The first time I saw Levan was, I think he was top rolling either Dmitry Selaev or he was top rolling Oleg Zok. I'm not sure. Like some PAL match. The very year that it happened, that's when I saw him. 2017, I think it was. That's when I saw him for the first time. First impression, he looked solid. It looked solid. I was surprised, man. Who is this guy beating Oleg Zok? How is it even possible? Yeah, that wasn't the healthy Jerry, though. Do you think a prime Dennis with full prep could get a stop at Levan? Left arm? Yeah. Right arm? I don't think so. Maybe with his king's move, but Levan will still find a way. Maybe he'll flop press. I don't know. Most probably, Morozov will pull with his left arm next year in December. Left arm next in December or January. I don't think he's going to pull in December. Maybe. But he doesn't seem to be in a great shape as of now. Pradeep, in your last video, you mentioned a message proving Roman wasn't the owner. You can clarify what that was. You went through it real fast. Last video, I mentioned a message proving... No, in my last video was Alijan Muratov, Engin Terzi's response. Engin wasn't the owner. Maybe that's what you're talking about. It's a little confusing. Just imagine Dennis never had health problems. It would be a beast. Pradeep, is Larrett's arm bet a conflict of interest when he clearly pulling? And yeah, initially it clearly is. Initially, Devon was saying that I'm not allowed to give my predictions on any matches because I'm a part of stakings or arm bet. Basically the same thing. And from that, he went on to publicly say, bet your house on this guy, bet your house on me, bet your house on that guy, he's going to win. I'm like, how did this change happen? Come on, man. You were saying you cannot even talk about a match because it's on arm bet, and later on he started saying bet your house on that guy. Thank you, Mark, for another 18 dirham super chat. Only way to end Levan's reign is drug tested leagues only. Problem solved. Who would be number one natty super heavyweight champion? That's an interesting question. Levan cannot use drugs. Devon cannot use drugs. Gasparini cannot use drugs. Oh, who else? The old guys will be immediately out. Immediately. Anyone who's over 45 is out the very next day the drug testing is introduced. The younger guys, it will have to be someone young who has been natural. Or maybe a good post-cycle therapy and Levan still stays the champion. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Just imagine. Or are you saying that can these guys who are juiced up as of now, can they still compete if they become natural, or only the guys who have never taken stuff? I think you're trying to say that these guys can also compete, but they need to pass the drug test, or basically they need to stop taking everything even if there is no drug test. I would say the gap is big. So let's say Levan will be down to 150 kilos. Can he still be number one? I mean, all of the top 10 guys are juicing, so they'll also be down. And the 15th, 20th, 25th guy who's not juicing, Levan is probably twice as strong as that guy. So maybe Levan still stays the champ. It's difficult to say otherwise. Just imagine Dennis never suffering from health. I wasn't aware Jerry wasn't 100%, but I take your word, yeah. Who is ever 100% when they lose a match? Almost never. You are teasing, Michael. Pradeep, what's your favorite arm wrestling moment? Favorite arm wrestling moment? That's a good question. It will have to come automatically to my mind, to my memory. It's difficult to think about a situation like that. Favorite arm wrestling moment. When I was arm wrestling in 2019, it was the first time ever I saw an arm wrestling table, first time ever I saw an arm wrestling strap, and I thought I was top rolling that guy, but then when I watched the video, I was slowly turned inside and I was hanging off the table with all of my weight, and then I stood up and pressed the guy. It was a beautiful tricep press, perfectly executed. Like if you just saw that part only, the transition from a open arm top roll, which not open arm top roll, but offensive top roll, which somehow got turned into a hook. The transition from that to a tricep press in my first ever match, that was cool. That was my best moment. Gennadi's girlfriend, Lavender Saginas. GVW is the greatest league in the world. Gennadi's girlfriend. The same photo was saying Gennadi's sister a few days ago. I saw Levan first in Igor Mazurenko's video. Pradeep, what is your favorite arm wrestling moment? I answered that. Levan knows how to beat the Queen's move. The betting company wasn't the first sponsor of GVW. I was the first. Gennadi's sister. That's the comment of the night. Funniest comment. Jerry versus Michael, why not happening? Yeah, it's gonna be a good match. My boyfriend is getting in shape for his next match. When is his next match? When is his contract going to expire? I think I talked about it. In 6 months or so, or 10 months, something like that. Gennadi's contract with East versus West is going to expire. It's crazy that these guys, even though they are contracted, they're still not competing at East versus West. I mean, if I beat you, I over you in the rank, okay, it would be nice to get some performance in several matches. Levan was WAF champion 7 times. Yes, he was. Of course, he will be the champ again. People underestimate Levan without steroids. I can answer that. Best moment of arm wrestling news was Wagner. I agree. Somebody watch Wagner Bortolato versus, what was that match? Was it Georgi Zaranov? Arm wrestling news live commentary of that East versus West event, and Wagner versus, man, I'm betting that you have never seen anyone laugh that hard. You have not laughed as hard, and you have never seen anyone laugh like that. Just watch this moment that J.R. Williams is mentioning. Whatever East versus West that was, Wagner versus Georgi Zaranov, go to my live commentary of that event and check out my reaction. That was amazing. Wagner was taking a nap in between the rounds. He was lying on a sofa. Jody was feeding him some gummy bears, or I don't know what that was, and he was sleeping. He was sleeping between the match. Pradeep, is that your brother in the room with you? Get him on camera, please. No, not my brother. Maybe it was my wife. They have to pass random drug testing all year long. Yeah, it should be every month. I liked those Igor videos. Man, those Igor videos were awesome. When he traveled to a place, shot a documentary style video there. It was amazing. The Shardara video, when they were doing that sport, the horse riding sport, something like that, and the kids training, amazing video. If you told me Alex Cordecha was natty, I would believe it. Just because he's losing? That's why? That's why you're saying that, Mark? Can Prime John beat current Devon? I don't think Cordecha is natural. I will not believe it. Thank you, Pradeep. I will just add on one more impression about ArmBet. Larrett has informations from his app, and based on those information, he can sell his own match. This is crazy. Corruption, yeah. The idea that if anyone wants to achieve anything in arm wrestling has to do drugs is alarming. But wouldn't that be true for most of the sports? Maybe in Olympics the drug testing is still solid. Favorite arm wrestling moment when Nugo goes spastic when he gets hyped up at the table. Charlie Kirk moment, horrible day for free speech. I saw a video today of Charlie Kirk. He was saying that we need to bring back public executions. Somebody put out, like, addressing his own situation, how he got shot, and then he was saying the same thing, that he would like to see public executions. They need to be quick, they need to be televised, and they need to be public or in front of a live crowd or something like that. And all of those same things which he wanted to see happen to others, other criminals, happened to him, even though he was not a criminal. Is Vitaly extremely high on steroids compared to others? How can I say that, man? What kind of question is that? Chetana backstory is so moving. Hi IDRU Floppy, I love AOC. He is the member of the channel. Thank you, sir. Can Prime Dennis beat current Devon? No. Not on the right arm. On the left arm, yes. Old moldy Scrotty with a 35. Is that Zimbabwe currency? Man, I forget it every time. How would you rate the arm wrestling Seer? Is that how it's pronounced? Seer? Series out of... The last video I didn't really like it too much. He could have used better stuff. Like if arm wrestling Seer is watching this, then he could have taken those multiple contexts. He can still do that for the next part where Engin is literally almost forcing Arthur Makarov to say publicly that he didn't beat Engin. It was Engin who got injured. And him mentioning that on his YouTube channel maybe 25 times, like a compilation of all of that. That would be awesome, because I didn't like it at all, like how he kept on mentioning that. So I rate that series, first of all, the hard work that goes into making such videos. Any YouTuber can understand that it is literally like non-stop every day, 4 or 5 hours you're searching, watching content, and then it will probably take a week. So that one video that he makes probably takes research, editing combined, maybe like 30-40 hours of actual work. So show your support to that guy if you can. That is a level of hard work that very few people can do. Only the YouTubers in the initial days, they can do that. I could have done that 5 years ago, but not now. I also started a Ryan Bowen versus reality series. So in a way, you can give me credit for the delusional Ryan Bowen series, because I was the one who started it. Not the exact same series, but my series was named Ryan Bowen versus reality. It had 2 parts, then I stopped. I could have made more parts, but then I just stopped. So I was the OG gangster who introduced these series to the arm wrestling world. Will we ever see you on an East vs West show live, maybe commentary? I'm not sure. John said he can barely beat 225 Hermes from WAL. Pradeep, that's crazy. You're married. I guess you're a handsome guy like you cannot be single. Yeah. Comment. Pradeep, that's crazy that you are married. I guess a handsome guy like you cannot be single. Thank you, sir. Explain the title. Is Levan fighting soon? I'll discuss that again. Except he died so that the Second Amendment can live. Yes. The title should have been Engin Glazers. Yeah, so in that video too, he could have taken some better clips, but still I would give that guy a solid 8 out of 10. Next video, I hope you do that arm wrestling Seer, a compilation of Engin Terzi forcing Arthur Makarov to say to public that he didn't beat Engin, and saying the same thing himself again and again on his own shows, that he lost to Arthur only because of an injury. And the East vs West website also saying the same, that Engin Terzi, not Arthur Makarov beat Engin, it was like Engin Terzi was winning. I think it literally, the results on East vs West said something weird like that. Engin was winning and then he got injured. Can somebody mention what was the exact thing that was mentioned there on the East versus West website. Maybe it is still there. East versus West arm wrestling results. Do we have results? evwsports.com. Not EVW. I think it was East versus West arm wrestling is a different website. Okay, it's still not available. East versus West. Control F. Engin. Yeah. Right arm super match. Engin withdraw after leading 2-1. What the hell does that even mean? Come on, man. Who else was leading? Rustam Babai was leading against Paulin. Let's see if it says the same thing for Rustam or not. Rustam Babayev 3-0 Paulin. That's the first one. Irakli. Rustam. Okay, right arm super match. Rustam withdraws due to an injury. That match happened after they had mentioned. Engin may have already seen the backlash that his own result got, so maybe he decided to choose the same. But I'm quite sure when I made a video about that topic, there was one other guy that lost his super match due to an injury, and Engin had not mentioned the same thing for him. Please stop giving attentions to YouTubers that have Engin deranged syndrome. Please level up from this crap. Can Prime Hermes win against Prime Dennis? As of now, I would say his press, maybe not. No, I would say no. But it's a good match. Bro is flirting in front of us. Pradeep is committed to many. Weird argument, Pradeep. India wanted nukes. Does that mean in case when Pakistan nuke crushes? No, when did I say that he wanted it so he got it? No. You need to listen to what I said again. Pradeep, what do you think of Ryan Bowen's fiance's match? She is Indian. Yeah, let's see how she does. I think she clearly is top 10 in the world at 65 kilos. I would say that. But is she? Because some lighter weight categories are pretty strong. When Asra Kiraj is 55 kilos, when she was practicing against Chetna couldn't do anything against her. So while in the 65 kg category, she is easily top 10. But if we consider, let's say, the best 2 girls in the 60 kg category, best 2-3 girls in the 55 kg category, does she still remain the best 65 kg female arm wrestler in the world? Then it becomes one of the best top 10, I mean to say. That weight becomes interesting. So I'm not sure how that match is going to go. I'm not sure about the current shape. I heard last year or a couple of years ago, Bella Plieva won silver at WAF. Then she's going to win that match for sure. I don't think Chetna's level is that high yet. So, but she's strong. She is definitely one of the top. Ryan believes that she's the number 1 female arm wrestler in the world. I would doubt that. Maybe at a time, maybe last year she was. But the girls that were number 2 or 3, they're still relatively young in the sport. They were like 3 years and the other one was like 4 or 5 years into the sport. So they are progressing more than Chetan. I would like to believe that. That was so bad. I remember watching that and cringing how he made Makarov say all that shit. Yeah, on every live, and Makarov, being gentleman, just smiled and did it. Yeah, I'm wrestling see it. Somebody messaged that guy. That part needs to be included in the next part of the Engin Terzi series. What happened to Bowen's wife? Did he leave his kid in Australia to live in India? Ryan Bowen's son and his daughter is with his ex-wife's new husband, so their stepfather. Is Engin connected to Gennady event? No, as of now we don't have any proof of that. Will Engin ever come back to East versus West? I hope not. Yeah, I also hope not, because the only way Engin can work in this situation is when he's the 100% owner, or when he's the 0% owner, nothing in between. We're going to have some electric problems here, I guess. I spilled some water on the cables. Right in that Type-C USB socket. Can Arthur Makarov beat Barbora? Yeah, of course he can, man. What kind of question is that? I'm not sure about the 55 I think even the 55 kg world champion will beat Barbora. The lightest male weight category. That guy will put Barbora in a hook. He may not be able to top roll her, but he'll put her in a hook and beat her. I think so. Does anyone really think that Engin is not involved and most likely the owner of GVW Sports? Yeah, some people think that, because some people don't like to believe things without a proof. Hello Pradeep, how are you? I'm fine, Kunal. For arm wrestling in the Olympics to be successful, it would have to be best 2 out of 3. Single match tournament style would be too boring for normies. Yeah, I like that. How many beers have you had? No, I'm speaking in a soft voice because my son is sleeping. I didn't have any beer. Pradeep, do you know what were the sales of pay-per-view of last East versus West? No, I don't know. But if I were to guess, maybe 20,000? Maybe a little bit more. Okay, Mark put the super chat for the same comment. Thank you for the 18 dirhams again. I know I've already answered this. No beer. My son is sleeping. I don't want him to wake up as of now. In the same room, he's sleeping. Is that vodka? No, just lemonade. Can Pradeep beat Chetna? Yes. Ryan thinks that I cannot. Maybe we'll have a super match in the future. I think I can easily beat her. I don't think she can slip. As a matter of fact, I don't think there is any female arm wrestler in India that can slip against me. Maybe in the straps they can do something, but I doubt even that. And we're talking experienced arm wrestlers, not newbies. Yeah. Can a 6-inch wrist guy become a good arm wrestler? Depends on your weight category. In the lightweight category, maybe, yeah. Pradeep, right hand you lose to Chetna, left hand though. That could be a fun match and you need to train again. Come on, man. Right-handed, I'm not losing to Chetna. She was doing that pronated back pressure with Ryan and she did 33 kilos and she failed at 35. I don't think I can do 35 kilos that way. My simple normal back pressure was 35 and she did this with a pronation wrap, 33 kilos. So she got more back pressure than me. On the right arm, she got a 65 kg cheat curl. That may be close again. My deadlift best was I think 150. She got 152. My bench press best is I think 85. She got 85 too. So our lifts are pretty close, like neck and neck. And she's lighter than me. Come on, she's like 70 kilos and I'm 82, 83, and she's lifting the same weight as me, even in the arm wrestling specific exercises and even in the general gym strength exercises. So the same weight, and she has much better elbow conditioning, much more experience than me. But still, I will beat her. I remember very well, on the right arm I got only 35 kilos back pressure, left I got 39, and she's doing pronated back pressure 33 kilos. I don't think I can do that. Bro, you realize that you have elite grip strength. Not on the right arm. My right arm best, that dynamometer was 77 point something, 77.8 7 kilos or something like that. But usually I get around 71, 72. Left arm best was 88 kilos, and usually, normally, I get around 83, 84, always over 80, most likely below 85. But that's my range. 82 to 85 kilos is the normal range. Best was 88. Yeah, right, I can get over 70, but not much more than that. But even 70 for a female arm wrestler to open up the fingers of a 70k, that it's almost impossible. Almost impossible. Even though my wrist is pretty weak, but still I can just hold them, just grab them low from here, and from there they cannot open the fingers or the wrist. Is Dennis really retired? Is Chetna really your cousin? No, she was just joking about it. Jia Williams, I've gripped up with Pradeep. Our boy is strong. Thank you, Mark. When did we grip up? How do I not remember that? When did I go to Dubai? I see you super chatting in dirhams all the time. When did I go to Dubai to arm wrestle you? Pradeep did the 2 of the rogue grip. 2 of the rogue grip. Can somebody explain it to me? What does that mean? But yeah, at Pro Punja League I saw that my left arm has a stronger crushing or squeezing grip than 90% of even the super heavyweight arm wrestlers of India. They really, not many people get over 80 kilos on that dynamometer. I've sparred with Henry a couple of times now. Henry is not on my level. I'm going to beat him easily. At least on the left. Right, I cannot say anything. Left, I'm going to pretty easily beat him. Are you lefty? I'm lefty. Yeah. Prime Dennis versus Levan. So let's discuss this again, the video. Roman Gamtinadze uploaded a comment under one of my videos, my last video. It said, would you like to see a super match? Are you excited to see a super match between Levan and Alijan Muratov left arm? So I said that it would be amazing because Levan won't be breaching his right arm East versus West contract, because that would be a left arm match against Alijan, and Alijan is also not happy. So in that case, it would be amazing because Engin couldn't get Levan to agree to compete on the left arm. I think Robert Baxter also couldn't get him agreed to compete on the left arm. But if Roman and Gennady did that, that would be awesome for their league. And also Alijan is not happy with East versus West contracts as of now. So I thought that would be amazing. But unfortunately, I think as of now, this is just an idea. I don't think the athletes have even been contacted. So I don't think this match is going to happen. I wish it will. I would like to see that at GVW Sports, but as of now it just seems like a dream that is probably never going to come true. On the right arm, Levan versus Vitali will happen later part of this year or maybe early part of next year. If Vitali beats Jerry, I think that's the condition for that. If he doesn't beat Jerry, then I think what happens then? Then maybe Hermes versus Devon, and the winner of Hermes versus Devon gets Levan next year. That can happen. So that's the news on Levan Saginashvili as of now. JR Williams is saying, I'm not sure if Rogue makes them. Captains of Crush is a Iron Mind. Iron Mind makes them. Aussie is strong and Aussie outweighs Pradeep by 20 pounds. I don't think 80 kg is not an elite grip for sure. But it's like if you are in top 1% of the world, still you are basically 50% of the world record. You can see that everywhere. So if you have a 250 kg deadlift, then I'm quite sure that you are among the top 1% lifters of the world. I'm not just talking about the regular guys. I'm talking about the guys who go to the gym, who actively lift weight every week, and who try to lift as heavy as they can. You are in the 1% of those people if you have a 250 kg deadlift, but you are still only 50% of the world record. So what I'm saying is that In that grip thing, I am easily within the top 1% guys in the world with that 88 kg grip on the left arm. But that is still 50% of what Vitali is doing, maybe 55% of what Vitali or the other guy, what's his name, Nikita or something like that, he crossed 170 kilos. So I'm only doing half of what he's doing. So if you're lifting half of the world record, then you're easily in the top 1%, which is not elite, but it's good. It's good. That same logic can fit in all other exercises too. I think most of them. Bench press, what's the bench press world record? I'm not sure. Maybe 340, 350. I'm just guessing at this point. I have no idea about the bench press world record, but I guess it could be like 330, 340. No, Julius with that suit and everything, he lifted 800 pounds. So is that 350? So whatever it is, if you're lifting half of that, 350, you're lifting half of that, what's that, 175? That's easily within top 1% of the active lifters in the world, and still you are only 50% of the world record. That's not correct. He wants 50,000 per year. Okay, 50,000 per year for like 4 or 5 super matches. 8.4 inches, maybe this one is 8.3, little bit smaller, but they're skinny hands. You think Vitali will pull Jerry as Hermes? No, that's difficult. I don't think Vitali can do that. But he can also pin Jerry without the straps. I do believe that's a possibility. Do you think Devon is collecting our data with his gambling app? What kind of data are you talking about? Good question. You can see when you install that app, you can see what kind of permissions that app has. But all of the apps have all kind of permissions. You wonder why do they need this permission and that permission? They have everything. Yeah, Eddie Hall. There are many videos of Eddie Hall trying that grip dynamometer, and in most of the videos, he got less than me. But then finally, I think like after. Not on the same day, but on multiple days, after multiple tries, he got a few kilos, 2-3 kilos more than me. So I was beating Eddie Hall for many months, many years, until Eddie finally got a stronger grip than me. That puts some things into perspective. I had a stronger grip than literally a world's strongest man. You can watch Eddie Hall's grip strength videos, and he was mostly like 81, 82, 84, 86, 87. He was doing that much. I think finally he got 90 kilos. I may be wrong though, but he was around that range. Eddie has an average size, but isn't he like 6'2", 6'3"? He cheats the grip by pressing against his leg. Yeah, you may think that it helps you a lot, but unless... Yeah, sometimes it can. JR, that would be a cool one to see with Derek Smith too. Colton did 500 without straps. Devon had like 78 kg grip strength. Is a really good actor. Yeah, I don't think he was going all out, but still I don't think he'll be doing much more than that. When Devon was young, he was close. He was almost closing a COC 2.5. I don't think he ever did close a COC 2.5, but he was very close to closing it. Younger, I shouldn't say young, but I don't think he's even getting close to that now, even though he's much stronger. I won't be surprised if Devon cannot even close a COC 2 now. I think I can squeeze more than Devon today. Can I still close a COC 2? Should I try? I haven't tried it in a while, and my grip strength has gone down in last 1 year. Devon has arthritis now. You think Devon should go more to the gym? Yes, he should. He should just be doing bench press and shoulder press. That's it. Or bicep curls, the Russian style seated bicep curls. Once a week, I want to see Devon do these 3 exercises 3 times in the gym. 10 sets of 10 reps on the bench press with, let's say, 200 pounds. That's all Devon needs to do in a day. 10 sets, 10 reps, 200 pounds. Just that's it. Devon doesn't use grip to win though, so his grip strength doesn't matter. Yeah. Dennis Prime 290 kg bench press and 140 kg. There is absolutely no way in this world that Dennis can have 140 kg grip. I cannot believe that. Are you doing your cupping exercise? Yesterday I did a little bit with only 10 kilos. 10 kilos, 5 sets of 20 reps. That's the weakest part. The wrist wrench, I think it is called, the thing that you wrap and it pulls your it opens up your wrist. So even I don't think I was able to do only 21 or 22 kilos in that exercise with the thumbless grip, and with the thumb grip I think maybe 28, 29, 30. That is by far the weakest part in my game, my wrist. It opens up so easily. I have butter wrist. Pradeep, if you were in Engin's place, what would you do? Just rest, relax, train for arm wrestling, compete again. That's what I would do. This is what I believe. GVW knows East versus West is pushing for Devon versus Levan super match left hand for his comeback and wanted to quickly break any news that Levan would want to do it anyway. Stupid play. Okay, so my son is waking up as of now. I was planning to end this live stream soon anyway, so I think it's about time. Do you agree with Matt Rhodes' report that Devon versus Dennis directly was? Yes. I was also saying that match shouldn't have happened. There is no way that Dennis was going to beat Devon. Anyways, guys, I'm about to end this live stream. Thank you for joining. Maybe we'll meet tomorrow again. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the awesome super chats, Mark, and also old Moldy Scrotty. You guys are amazing. Scrotty, not Scrotty. Thank you guys. Bye.